Absolute chaos. We've got blizzards in Africa, we've got tsunamis in Paris, and the whole thing's been
Gosh darn it. With over 100% more battery power, Mophie, stay powerful.
I thought I knew a thing or two about switching contracts. I play for so many clubs, I sometimes forget which town I'm in.
London. Cheers, mate. Thanks, Pete.
I thought I was the expert at switching, but I wasn't. I thought I knew a thing or two about switching contracts. I play for so many clubs, I sometimes forget which town I'm in.
London. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
I thought I was the expert at switching, but I was wrong.
Excuse me, can I use your phone?
Certainly, sir.
I've got to phone the agent.
He's not a happy sausage.
That's not meaty enough.
How much? This is the new Mercury 121 mobile, sir. You can make local off-peak calls free.
Free?
Allô? Allô? Tout se passe mal ici.
Hello?
Oh, Monsieur Bennington, je suis désolée, but this job is a big mistake for me. Your children, I can't. I'm going to kill myself.
Hey?
I must go to the window.
No, don't go to the window! Don't jump! She mustn't jump! I'll take it!
I'll get you a new...
No! I want the one in the dress. This dress, display, this one.
Don't jump. Don't jump.
Allô?
You're alive.
Yes, thank you. Who are you?
What, me?
I'm most so spicy, you can slice me. I'm just as nicey if you dice me. Oh, sorry.
Get off! This is a personal call.
The smartphone with everything you need.
Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Maybe sunshine and maybe rain. But as for me, I'll wait and see. And maybe it'll bring my love to me.
In 30 seconds, it's quicker to show you what it can't do.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mobile industry sucks. There, I said it. For years, mobile companies have been neglecting their customers, but not anymore. Not on my watch. Here at 3, we've taken a pledge. When stuff sucks, make it right.
Yeah!
Everything from charging extra for 4G to paying bucket loads for roaming abroad. Things need to change. I'm serious. So, if you just have a look below, you can keep up to date with some of the things we're doing right now to make it right. Yeah. The revolution has started, my friends, and boy, is it fluffy. Furball, sorry. When stuff sucks, make it right.
That's it!
Yes, you were there. Good question. Yes, the revolution has started.
It is predicted that the future of Britain sucks.
Hey, UK. You okay, hun? Hold on to your crumpets. 3's building the UK's fastest 5G network. Next stop, the future.
What a beautiful day. Rate your driverless cabbie with 5 beautiful stars. Did you see the football last night?
Call me the big dog.
I'm an astronaut.
In the match.
It took an alien to make me feel human again.
Sort of thing you dream of, isn't it?
One bottle of Emoji Mojo, please.
What, one of these? Hey, what's wrong with your face?
Face filter detected.
I'm old.
You ain't getting me with them 5G face filters. Hey, what's that wrong?
Check this out. 5G stream this in nanoseconds. It's a banger.
Yeah. Everyone's liking this fresh.
Let's get a listen. Everyone wants a nibble.
Big man, I know you told me.
Here, Outrun. New personal best.
Sausage.
Smell sequence uploading. Plant-based. Hot towel.
We are nearly halfway to the moon. Enjoy fully functioning 5G on board.
So, is this your first trip to the moon? This is my second trip. You should check out the craters. They're out of this world. This is my favorite show.
Mega download complete.
We couldn't stop watching because...
All right, Molly? Where you been?
Dinner at Nan's.
I'm the Turtle King! Clear myself!
I'm lagging. I'm lagging.
I told you, get 5G. It's stupid fast.
3 home. Romance mode?
3. Take the Poldy.
Anyone order a pop sensation?
It truly is a glorious scene here. Thousands of fans have turned up to welcome home the nation's heroes. Here they come! It's the captain!
Join the future.
Korea, always on the cutting edge of telecommunications. And who's always at the forefront? Samsung. With industry-leading mobile technologies and key partnerships with Korean carriers, Samsung is ahead of the game, bringing commercial 5G to life before the rest. From 7 cities in December 2018 to major regions of 85 cities nationwide, Korea is now a 5G. Samsung's 5G equipment is also the industry's most compact and lightweight, making it easy to install onto existing sites. Thanks to Samsung 5G tech, our partners are up and running faster, establishing tens of thousands of wireless 5G connections. And now, with the world's #1 5G smartphone, our vision has come to life. Real-time sports anytime you want it, no matter where you are. 5G technology is radically enhancing the way we connect, entertain, learn, and communicate. This is 5G, and it's the way forward.
Excuse me. Hi. Would you mind taking a picture of me?
For the 138th FA Cup final.
What is that, man?
That's Wembley right now.
Do you know what that is?
Or radio frequency radiation. And so I know that sounds bizarre, but let me tell you scientifically what is happening, and then I'll tell you contextually why it's happening, and I'll tell you what we can do about it. So what is occurring? Globally, I was the head of the largest business unit at Vodafone, their headquarters in Newbury, between 2013 through to 2015. I was privy to a number of the new technologies that were coming down the pipe that was going to be implemented, namely the Internet of Things, and secondly, the 5G technology. I knew a long time ago that 5G was dangerous, but I didn't understand the correlation with the coronavirus, which I now do, and I want to be able to explain that to you. So what is happening? There is a deliberate strategy to roll out 5G, which is the 5th generation internet radio spectrum frequencies that enable mobile phones, smartphones, and all devices to function on a much faster processing ability. And with the introduction of AI, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things, where all devices will be connected, so whether it's your car, whether it's your phone, whether it's your refrigerator, whether it's your electricity in your house, it's all going to be on a smart grid. Effectively a type of matrix, unfortunately. Sorry to use that term. So what is happening is that this technology has to be rolled out globally. My company that I used to work for, as they're running their largest worldwide business unit, is Vodafone. Vodafone are in partnership with Huawei or Huawei, whatever you call them, a Chinese telecoms company. And they have been rolling out systematic 5G implementation in multiple locations. What's the relevance? The frequency that they're using, and I also ran a telecoms company back in 2010 through to 2013-14, some of you will be aware, that specialized in radio spectrum, this is the ability to take external signals from satellites into buildings, and so that the frequency that you experience in power on your phone is the same in the building as it is outside of the building. When mobile networks were created initially, they thought people would be on the road all the time, hence why they were called mobile phones. But actually what happened is people used their mobile phones in buildings, and the signal wasn't strong enough to penetrate buildings. That's called radio spectrum. And there are different megahertz frequencies, etc. So the 5G frequency is a very high frequency, very, very, very high frequency. It is just below the classification of a weapon, and I'll tell you why. The frequency that they're using, which is 10 times faster than 4G, unfortunately, when it comes into connection with human bodies, causes cell poisoning. Cell poisoning. So our bodies try to fight the radiation that is in the form of cell poisoning because of this frequency. It is effectively radiation. And what happens is our bodies kick out the toxicity or toxins with some proteins and some DNA, RNA from our cells in the form of a chemical which is called a virus. So most diseases are excretions from cells that we are trying to pull out of our body or push out of our body. And it will head towards orifices to be excreted or expunged out of our body. So our noses or our mouths. So you can understand the picture I'm painting. So what's happening, sorry for the detail, but this is going to take a bit of time. What is happening is that 5G, the frequency and the power, which is 10 times more powerful than 4G, is reacting adversely with human cells, causing cells in our bodies to be poisoned, toxic, and our natural defense mechanism is pushing out that toxicity in the form of a virus. So what you're seeing is not coronavirus per se, you're seeing cell poisoning manifesting with fluids, chemicals, viruses that the body is trying to dispose of because it's harmful to its physical body. So all that's occurring around the world, and I hear your minds thinking, well, how can that be, Pastor? But I'll explain in a moment. All that's occurring in the world is a reaction to human bodies to the electrification of the universe through 5G satellites, 5G towers, 5G cells that are being populated in major cities around the world. So this is what is causing this pandemic. So sorry to say, second point, this is the largest global cover-up in history for the impact on human beings based on technological advancements. I hope that makes sense. I don't have time to quantify that. I will give you further information in a moment. So what is happening is not the coronavirus. It is a virus that is being produced by cell poisoning. And therefore, the virus that we have is really a measure or indication of our cells excreting toxins. This is what's killing people. So let me give you some facts that will hopefully make this compelling. So one of the first cities that Vodafone, Huawei, and some of the other technology companies rolled out the ubiquitous blanket 5G, guess where it was? Wuhan, China, where this coronavirus was supposedly meant to start in some fish market. That is complete nonsense. It started as a result of radioactive or radio frequencies at a high level, creating radiation that was toxic to cells, and that's why people were falling over, dying in the streets, etc. So they've tried to cover it up. So because it has a flu-type characteristics, they are using coronavirus to try and hide the fact that people are dying from the 5G frequency. So let me just explain. Other major cities that rolled this out, it takes 6 months for this to impact your physical body. So last year, obviously Wuhan was the first city. Then Spain rolled out 5G. Italy rolled out 5G. So you're seeing an uncommon level of fatalities because of the level of 5G penetration in these countries. Italy has had more fatalities than any other country because it is densely populated with 5G, and the older generation doesn't have the immune system to fight against it. Let me move on because of time. So Italy has rolled it out. Spain has rolled it out. Most major cities have rolled it out around the world, and countries. London is one of the biggest CCTV centers, and obviously they're in the process of rolling out more 5G. What is the relevance of all of this? The relevance is the coronavirus is not what's killing people. It is clearly, categorically, unequivocally, and scientifically proven that the radio frequencies that we are being exposed to is what is killing the people. Why are they allowing it? Because of multiple agendas, but primarily because 5G is the only network with the speed to handle the future. And where we're going rapidly is a world run by AI, artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, where everything's interconnected on the internet, a new global currency that's coming out, hence why I've been pushing what I've been pushing for the last 5 years in Africa with our own digital currency to combat what was coming. In addition to that, there will be driverless cars. There'll be a number of different things that basically need to run on 5G, so they cannot reverse the implementation of this technology. And they're happy for it to the sacrifice to be millions of lives around the world. Just to prove the point further, the cruise ships were installed with 5G. So the people that were quarantined on the cruise ships, they were cruise ships that had 5G, and that's why the people were getting sick. Hospitals have 5G. Major cities have 5G. Airports have 5G. So these are places where people will automatically get sick if they're exposed to the inordinate levels of radiation through radio spectrum poisoning. Okay, so let me move on. We've had 3 pandemics in the last 120 years. The first pandemic was in 1918, which was called the Spanish flu pandemic. This was when they implemented radio waves globally and increased electrification of our universe. Guess what happened? Millions of people died 6 months later with a pandemic they called the Spanish flu.
We're making a pretty big claim. We're making a claim that here we are entering a second machine age where instead of overcoming the limitations of our muscles like we did in the first machine age with the Industrial Revolution, with steam power and electric power and the internal combustion engine, what we're doing here is overcoming the limitations of our individual minds.
In a simple villa on the outskirts of Bristol lives Dr. Gray Walter, a neurologist, who makes robots as a hobby.
Just over half a century ago, robots started exploring the world. These tortoises were built in 1948 and were among the first electronic autonomous robots.
This model is named Elsie, and she sees out of a photoelectric cell which rotates above her body. When light strikes the cell, driving and steering mechanism sends her hurrying towards it.
Today, their successors are almost infinitely more sophisticated, and they've moved from the lab into the real world. Google's driverless cars have traveled more than 1 million miles on public roads already. Over the years, there's been no single major breakthrough. Instead, different technologies have improved dramatically: sensors, machine learning, computer vision, and laser scanning.
Who are you?
I am a robot, and I am developing a sense of self.
They've created a technology convergence for advances in robotics, or a sweet spot for a robot revolution.
Who am I?
You are Tony.
There is no one robotic future. Some think the result will be mass unemployment and perhaps the extinction of the human species.